begin. Welcome, everybody, to the Unagi Sayaka Watch, where we keep updates on Unagi Sayaka's activities, what she's been doing since she went freelancing, leaving Stardom, what promotions she's been popping up, what matches she's been involved in, and if any other activities she's going to be involved in. So, I am your host, J Rod here. So, it's been a while since I did this one, but nonetheless, better late than never. Now let's talk about certain matches to review. To talk about, there's three of them that I definitely really gonna talk about. Here's the first one. If you guys know, recently Unagi has been making appearances with Pro Wrestling ZERO1. She just recently had a match back on the 28th of May, where she was involved in a trios tag team match. She teams up with Super Delphine and veteran and legend Yoshiaki Fujiwara. They take on Kikutaro, Minoru Fujita, and Tomoaki Hamna. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Did I say Minoru Suzuki? I did say that. But now, there has been interaction between those two recently. Unagi posted it on her Twitter page on a few times. But oh my effing god. Now, I did not see the video, but I saw photos. Unagi took a lot of beating from Murder Grandpa himself. I'm talking about Minoru Suzuki. Whacking her with the damn chair. I mean, Unagi showed a lot of fire in this particular match. I wasn't too sure. But, however, I did not... I think... Suzuki might apply the Scotch-style pile driver to finish her off. But what I did like is how Minoru Suzuki gave her respect, because I cannot remember when was the last time anybody has ever, a female most specifically, has ever stand up to Suzuki. I have to say, Nagi was fearless. And of course, Suzuki gave her a big hug. And of course, veteran Fujiwara gave her a lot of respect. I remember Unagi talking about Fujiwara in a match that he was involved in almost decades ago, and she said that maybe one day something like that can be replicated. So that was very interesting. So I have to say, I did not see the event, but but from what I can tell, it was great. Now, Nagi had a recent event early this month for GLEAT for the version X Face Off on the 7th of June, where she teams up once again with Yukari Hosokawa. They take on Azuki Aoki and Raiden Hagane. Now, the match went exactly expected, However, it was Unagi and Yukari actually lost. I think it was Aoki who did a frog splash on Hosokawa to pick up the win. However, something just transpired at the end of the match. Unagi and Yukari were attacked by Aoi and Michiko Miyagi. So it appears that once again, Michiko did exactly what she did. She somehow was able to get her hands on Aoi and side with her. Unagi was in disbelief that her own her tag partner and someone who was following her decided to align herself with Michiko Miyagi, and this is revenge by Michiko Miyagi for what Unagi did for exiling her from GLEAT. However, Yukari did mention that she wants Miyagi to pay for abandoning her. She didn't want her to go, but she did anyway. So she set up for a 4-on-4 match. However, the two volunteers was very crazy. Raiden Hagane and uh, Izuki Aoki volunteered, which was, whoa, that's interesting. But who's going to be their tag partners? Well, that's going to be a very interesting one, and we'll get to that in a bit. However, Unagi in this particular thing with those, just the four, she has like, how to say, not high hopes, but more like, I'm not sure if this is going to work. That type of look. But nonetheless, it was pretty good. Now, this next one, which is much recent, we have that took place on the 11th of June, and I think today is the 12th. Um, so Unagi went to Sendai Girls, and she teamed up with someone you guys also know if you're big Stardom fans and you've been seeing, or your guys are big fans of the Cosmic Angels, Sayori Inoi. Now, we know those two have recently teamed up before. Now, Sayori Inoi is a very, not unusual, but more like a very strange person who she teams up with, you know. But, however, in this particular match, from what I saw on clips in Sendai Girls' Twitter page, it seems like Unagi and Inoi actually really got along great. But their opponents were none other than Nanami, who Unagi has teamed up in the past, and Yurika Oka, who also Unagi teamed up in the past. But it appears that Yurika still wants to have that one-on-one match against Unagi. But however, this match ended with, of course, Sorionoi applying the pottering onto Oka, and boom, it just ends just like that. But however, Unagi and Eureka continues to get in each other's faces. But it seems that Unagi and Sayonoi did get along very well. And it seems like they are getting along very interesting. And not to mention, Unagi is still a member of the Cosmic Angels, despite that she never left the group, even though she's not a full time Stardom member of the roster. But I just had a thought about this. I want you guys to hear me out. What if those two show up at uh, Goddess of Stardom Tag League? That would be interesting, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mina gets herself like screaming and shitting about, I can't believe she's teaming up with this person. But anything could happen. But we'll see what happens till then. Now, our some interesting developments happened during the matches that I failed to apply, but certain things that also came about. During the ZERO1 event that Unagi was participating, she was called out by Aja Kong. You know who she is. She's a legend in the Yoshi world. Apparently, Unagi wanted to assess her when she first arrived to to ZERO1. And nothing was happening, but however, Aja Kong issued a challenge for a Plasma Blast match, or should I say, a baseball barbed wire current death match. Unagi has never been in this type of match before, but if I was Unagi, I would say call your friend Tam Nakano since she has experience in this thing. I would say she has to do that, but this particular thing will take place on the 28th, so we'll find out. Now, speaking of ZERO1, it was already been foretold by what's his name? Uh Otani, the founder of Pro Wrestling ZERO1, that he would like Unagi to participate in the Fire Festival, a tournament. It's already been told that one of her opponents that she will be involved is none other than Masato Tanaka. So that's going to be interesting. Uh, it was announced during a press conference on the 47th of Jaguar Yokata's anniversary show. Unagi will be participating in a three-way match. Amongst them is this person named Shatsuka, and the other opponent. This one's interesting for all of you. You guys been following her? That person is Suri, or as we know her in NXT, Saray. So that's a very interesting development. Now, recently we know Unagi will be facing Kairi real soon, and now she's facing someone who's been on across the Pacific with a major promotion, Suri. So that's going to be interesting to watch. So I can't wait to see that. Um, Now, if you guys know this or not, later on this month, on the 14th of June, Unagi will be in a match against the Pirate Princess Kairi in Kenta Kobashi's show, Fortune Dream 8. Kenta Kobashi mentioned recently in Tokyo Sports that he has high expectations for this particular match. Now, the reason he say that is because we all know Kairi, her reputation being a huge international star because of her timing with WWE. Unagi, who's just recently been in the, how do I say, stepped up as went into freelancing and killing it in the independents. I think that's something that Kenta Kobashi's expecting. Like she's seeing that Unagi has now been rising, and hopefully, maybe let's see how this one. Hopefully, this match could put her like on the map, saying, "Hey, or oversee promotions. Take a look at this wrestler." So I think maybe he believes that. I'm not sure, but I'm just putting it out. Now, as you know, recently I did mention that there was what happened at the last GLEAT show, X's Face Off. Well, apparently there was a team up that's gonna happen with Unagi with Hosokawa, Aoki, and Hagane. They're facing AOI and Michiko Miyagi. However, their opponents is none other than Risa. They're gonna have Risa Serra and Janai Kai. And this event will take place on the 17th of this month for G Pro Wrestling 54. So that's going to be interesting to see. Now, speaking of Glee, another show will take place for version 6, which is their biggest show of the year. Um, once again, oh no, never mind. I messed up. That one is going to take place on the 1st of July. That's the biggest event. So, um, Unagi and Yukari and Aoki and Hagane will be facing Ioi and Michiko Miyagi when they teamed up with Risa Serra and Janai Kai. But the 17th of June, Unagi and Yukari will be teaming up once again. They'll face off Aoki, but her tag partner is someone you guys may like, Momoka Anazono. So that's going to be very interesting to see. So, give me a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Let's move on to her schedule that she has right now. So Unagi has announced her schedule for, of course, this month, I believe. Let me pull it up real quick. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Um, as you know, we have the Fortune Dream 8 that's taking place on the 14th. On the 16th, she's back with Marvelous. And of course, we have the 17th show where she's going to be, of course, teaming with Yukari Hosokawa, taking on Itsuki Aoki and Momoka Nozono. The 18th, I don't know what that one is. Of course, we do have the 1st of July, of course, GLEAT. That's version 6, which taking place where that 8 women tag match will take place. Then she has the Fire Festival that will be taking place on the second and third no on the 2nd of July, and then of course the 7th of July as well. The 9th, I don't know what's this one she's doing. Then of course she's back with Pro Wrestling ZERO1 on the 15th of July. Another event on the 18th, another on the 17th. But however, she will be a bit from the 26th, the 28th, and 29th of July. She'll be with Pro Wrestling Zero. I don't know what's going to be taking place on, but we'll see what happens. Now, here's a much interesting thing that took place recently with that's been going on. There's this new character, and many people are going out of this one. You may have seen this in Japanese culture, especially when it comes to pro wrestling. There's this new character that appeared in Strong Style Pro Wrestling, which is the original Tiger Mask promotion. So they're starting up this. They started up this tournament for a women's tag team titles, and they announced many wrestlers. Now, this one wrestler named Dark Tiger was announced to participate. However, there was a mystery partner that was never announced, and later they announced someone called Dark Eel or Dark Unagi. Now I will put that photo at the end of this thing before we enter the outro of this video. Some people are like saying, "Wait a minute, is that Unagi?" Even Saki from Colors was like a bit like, "Wait a minute, Unagi, is that you?" And of course, Unagi's like, "I don't know who this person is. I, but she looks cool. But it is Unagi, so don't be fooled." So in a way, I like the story how this was going. However, when they started the tournament recently on the 8th of June, Dark Eel and Dark Tiger were facing against Saki and Rika Kahawara. Now, during the opening ceremony of the tournament, Saki looked on her left shoulder, try to take a closer look at Dark Unagi. It's like, I think she's trying to find out, is this really Unagi? So, but however, I did not see the event, but I can tell you the results of this event, of this match. Of course, Dark Eel and Dark Tiger won their match. But some people are starting to say something because Dark Unagi said this, that we're here to do all assessments. Yeah, that kind of felt like you're giving away yourself to your Unagi Sayaka. So yeah, I will post that photo of her, but you tell me what you guys think about that. So I think that's pretty much it what we have for everyone on Unagi's developments, and we'll just keep track of what's been going on recently. So I'll see you guys on the next episode of DWZ. So I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.